before a 9 or a 6-year-old kicks down the door and demands attention. Radio is back on the air, you ugly lady. My name is Darian. I am back for another week of horror bullshit. Buddy is alive, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
He is alive.
I'm back.
What's going on, bloody buddy?
Oh, finally done with a lot of hours of work.
A lot of hours, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you since Halloween, dude.
I know, it's
what
nuts.
What the fuck is going on?
I am alive.
You are alive. I heard rumors that you might be.
Yeah.
I said, well, I want to see him with my own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? How was your holidays?
Holidays was good.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was just nice to have those days off just on those days.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Because, you disappear. I know where you are. You're working the whole time. Mm-hmm. So you're not taking any breaks.
No.
You only, what do you get, every other weekend?
Yeah, every other weekend I have my kids, and here I am. Finally we're caught up.
Dude.
Peak is over.
So, but this happens every year.
Yes.
About this time.
Yeah.
Dude, you got to find another line of work or something, man. You're going to die on a November morning. You're just going to find a skeleton in a warehouse somewhere. It's going to be you with an obscene beard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking forward to my day off tomorrow.
Nice. You got one day off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can you get back to a human schedule, please?
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. When they find a way to clone you.
Right.
There's 4 buddies.
Oh, I would love that.
There'll be a podcast buddy, a husband buddy, a warehouse buddy,
travel buddy,
biker buddy, of course.
Yeah. Travel buddy.
One buddy just dedicated to beards.
Yeah. Bearded buddy.
Bearded buddy. Love it. Right on, man. Well, it's good to have you back.
Yeah, thank you. Feels good to be back.
Yeah, man. We got a regular horror show to get into here, dude. We got horror news, listener mail, all the usual shenanigans. Let's kick things off with a little horror news.
Oh, yeah.
Horror news.
You got anything, oh boy?
Yeah, Smile 2. Lucas Gage joins the cast of horror sequel. Smile 2 is scheduled to hit theaters on October 18th this year.
Whatever.
Yeah?
It's fine. It wasn't the best thing I ever saw.
Yeah, well, it made $217 million.
Yeah, that's why Blumhouse is going to make 14 Smile movies.
I know, right?
Good for them.
Mm-hmm. David Bruckner's writing and directing a remake of horror classic The Blob.
I'm into that.
Yes, me too. And the original movie also got a sequel. You think they're going to do a sequel?
I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
There was a remake that came out in '86, I think. You've seen the original.
Oh, yeah.
Steve McQueen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a comedy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a comedy.
Yeah.
'86 remake was definitely horror with Shawnee Smith.
Oh, that's right.
The guy gets schmutzed up in the phone booth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they did that sequel back in 1972.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Alan Wake comes to Dead by Daylight January 30th. And there's a little trailer out there for you, but there's a lot of goodies that he's going to be doing in this.
He's going to get his own map. No new killer. He's just going to be a survivor, though.
Right.
So that's still pretty cool. I'm a completionist, so of course I'm going to put the $8 down on it.
Yeah?
Of course. I have to.
All right, well, that's all I got. What do you got?
Hey, let's see if I have any stories left there thief of my stories. Looks like Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting a physical media release, dude. Mm-hmm. I'm glad. It's about time.
Right.
We got back to physical media.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like the other day, I wanted to watch Hush on Netflix. It's gone, and I can't buy it anywhere.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just never going to watch that again, I guess. And neither is Jason Harrell. So, because he wanted to watch it too. Now, neither one of us can watch it, buddy. Good news, though. I got a guy on Etsy that, like, rips it off somehow and makes Blu-rays. He did a couple seasons of American Horror Story for me. So
nice.
I'm trying to get him to do Hush, but now I didn't ask in advance. Now he can't find it anywhere to rip it off.
Oh, wow.
So we're fucked there. I probably shouldn't be talking about this. I think I just got somebody in trouble. All right, well, that sucks, man. I mean, it's good that they're releasing Wednesday.
Yeah.
They need to release some other shit.
Right.
You know? Like The Haunting of Hill House.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
All those. The Bly Manor, the Midnight Mass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, dude. Think about it. Think about it, Netflix. You're losing money. Looks like Scream Factory is upgrading the Child's Play and Carrie remakes to 4K.
Okay.
I'm into that. I will probably grab the Carrie one.
Carrie one, yeah.
I want to say I've seen the Child's Play remake. I know, but it wasn't Chucky. I think the doll's name was Buddy in that one. Was it not?
I think it was.
Yeah. So, I don't know, it's kind of weird watching a Child's Play without Chucky, right?
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. I'm not a big Chucky guy. So,
Me
I'm
either.
not a big killer doll guy, buddy.
Right.
Is the problem.
Yeah. He was good with his one-liners, but that was about it.
Well, that's only, I mean, now he's having kids and getting married.
Right.
He thinks his kid is gay. All right, now we're just being stupid, is what we're boiling down to. I don't know, man. If I buy one, I'll probably buy the other one. Lastly, it looks like Julia Gardner has been cast in Lee Winnell's Wolfman movie. Know the name Julia Gardner?
Sounds very familiar.
The curly-headed chick from Ozark, is it, I think? The Jason Bateman show?
Oh, yes.
She was also in the remake of We Are What We Are.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very attractive young lady. I want to know if this Wolfman Lee Winnell thing is going to tie in somehow to the Invisible Man Lee Winnell thing. He could be doing his own fucking dark universe right under our noses, buddy. You better talk to somebody. I want answers.
More to come.
I'm not going to get any answers. Nobody talks to me. That's all we got in the horror news, dude. You ready for some listener mail?
Hell yeah.
Let's get into it.
Listener mail.
Yes, sir. We got emails and voicemails, all kinds of fun stuff here. Start things off with Sydney, Australia there, buddy.
All right.
Subject line was Dummies from Horror, of course. Tim, subject line, why do you make us suffer, Darian? I don't know what I'm being blamed for, but I'm sure it's cruel and unusual. What's up, you beautiful legends? Happy New Year to you all. I went into 2024 with a positive attitude, with a positive outlook on life. But then along comes Darian, that's me, who put forced in capital letters, us to watch Amityville Mount Misery Road.
Oh, my gosh.
And now my year is ruined. My plan worked perfectly. Thanks, you big D. So, yeah, I did as you asked, Darian, and I checked out Amityville, Mount Misery Road, and I don't know why I wasted my time with this film. So my thoughts on this dumpster fire of a film.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie only goes 74 minutes, but 60 minutes of that could have been cut out. That sounds about right. That's fair, yeah. We start the film with 10 minutes of credits, then another 10 minutes of a guy driving his car, then later on another 10 minutes of a wasted on a girl dancing in a bar.
Yeah.
That's
That was a long...
That was we just could not shake her. She just... we'll get into that in immersion therapy. In fact, absolutely nothing happens in this movie until the last 20 minutes, and even then it was shit. I honestly don't believe this film has a script, but instead the actors just ad-lib their lines, which were god-awful, plus the couple in this film are absolutely cringe, and upon doing some research, I found out these two are an actual real-life married couple who not only are the main characters, but the directors as well.
Directors, writers, everything. Editors. Yeah.
This film is bad. No shit. Really bad, but I think you're correct, Darian. I think this is so bad it's good. I didn't hate it. I actually had fun laughing at the movie. Okay, so Terradome. I'm taking Jesse for the win. I like him more. All right, hold on. Hold your horses there, Timbo. Buddy, who do you think would win in a fight between Jesse Lee from Near Dark and Valak from Vampires?
Valak.
I took Valak also. Right on. Tim says Jesse. I get that. Oh, Darian. Oh, wait a minute. My top three. I'm saying Jesse for the win. Speaking about vampires, here's my top three least favorite vampire films. 3, Lost Boys 2. Nothing compared to the original. 2, Lost Boys 3. Even worse. Number 1, Interview with a Vampire. I just hate this movie. Could never get into it. That's fair. It's not really a horror film. You've seen Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, yeah.
It's not really a horror film.
No. It's literally what it is. The name of it. It's
a Interview with a Vampire, but it's a very fruity kind of it's basically Fabio with fangs, I feel like.
Yeah.
Darian, you are Haunt. Yay, I win. That's it for me this week. Much love to everyone. Have a wonderful week. I am Haunt. You nailed me. Well done, Tim.
Very nice.
Buddy, off the top of your head, without thinking about it, what is the worst vampire movie you've seen?
Worst one?
Yeah.
Immortality Yours.
What the shit is that?
It's just a piece of crap vampire film that's really bad acting.
Yeah?
Yes.
Immortally Yours, it's called.
Immortally Yours.
Well, I am intrigued now. Let me just take a quick gander at Immortally Yours. Immortally Yours.
What's the worst movie? Oh, I gotta watch this now.
Oh, yeah. I think 2.2 stars on IMDb, buddy. Wow.
I think is that? Well, I guess, yeah, it's probably that bad.
It's so bad that they actually stole the cover from Kiss of the Vampire.
Oh, funny.
To use for their movie. Wow.
Trying to get people to watch it.
Now, hold on now. A coven of sexy modern-day vampires ravage the American Midwest with their thirst for blood, while a romantic twist puts the vampires at odds.
You're going to watch it now, aren't you?
Well, now I feel obligated. Yeah. What year is this? 2009? It stars absolutely nobody. Written and directed by nobody. Yeah. This is, where is this, actually? This is currently streaming on Tubi.
For those who want to check it out.
I'm putting it on my list right now, buddy. Whew. I'm excited for
Maybe we should do that for immersion therapy.
I mean, I feel like it's only fair. Right. If you actually sat through Mount Misery Road, then...
Might as well sit through this.
I mean, I kind of got one coming.
I think Mount Misery Road is better than this.
Really?
Yes.
That bad? Mm-hmm. Okay, ouch. Well, that was it on the emails. How about some voicemails there, Hot Dog?
Mm-hmm.
How about we kick things off in beautiful downtown Anderson, Indiana, buddy? Here comes Coop Newcomb.
All right.
Hey, Darian.
What's up, dude?
Just wanting to call in and get the 3 on the Meat hook out to you.
Yeah, what do you think?
The worst vampire movies.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to agree with you. I believe you had said Van Helsing.
Yeah, that's a turd.
Was one of them.
Yeah.
That one was really bad. And I do remember feeling super disappointed when I saw that in the theater.
Me too.
And to this day, I couldn't tell you a whole lot about it other than I remember it just sucked.
It was poop.
Number 2, that Dracula 2000.
You
I
know,
remember
I wasn't mad
that
at
one was
that.
a pile of shit.
Gerard Butler.
I don't know if
Dracula.
I even made it to the end of that one.
Oh, you should check it out.
Number 1, to this day, awesome soundtrack, opposite for the movie, Queen of the Damned. Anyway, That one makes me mad too.
Okay, that's fair.
Anyway, take it easy. That's all I got.
Oh, it does have a kick-ass soundtrack.
Oh, it sure does.
I believe I own that movie. I know, what's her name there? Aaliyah, was it?
Yeah.
She was in it.
Walked really weird.
Yeah, and she was hot. She had
Yeah.
like a nice little push-up thing going on. I can't really remember anything else about it.
Come out, wherever you are.
Oh yeah, that part. Yeah. All right on. Even I don't think it was that good of a movie.
No.
Especially if it was supposed to be a sequel to Interview with a Vampire. Say what you will about Interview with a Vampire. If you take your girl to see that, you're going to get laid. Mm-hmm. Guarantee that.
Brad Pitt.
Tom Cruise. Like him or don't, I don't care. But there's, I don't know, it just like completely diverted, and I guess there was no mention of any of the previous events. So I don't know. I don't know what you're doing there. Here comes our main man in Alabama. Alan's in the house.
Hey, Alan.
Hey, Brown, what's up?
What's up, big guy?
Everybody's doing good.
Yeah.
Meat Hook, worst vampire movies. Okay, so I'm gonna go number 3. I'm gonna go with Queen of the Damned.
That's fair.
Number 2, I want to go Blood Rain, and number
Blood
1.
Rain.
Because I don't remember it. I was so hungover when me and my friends went and saw it.
Uh-oh.
Like, we was probably awful sitting next to us in the theater. I know we were sweating out whiskey and nicotine. And I remember falling asleep, and I ain't watched it since. Van Helsing.
Yeah.
Mr. Darian, Are You Home?
You got me.
In Terradome, give me Valak.
You got it, buddy.
Okay, so Amityville, Mount Misery Road.
Oh, you watched it, huh?
That movie? Like, what can I say about it? I mean, it's so bad, it's bad. There's no... I mean, the chick's kind of trashy hot.
She is.
What the fuck was up with their voices? The dude looks like he's never seen a shower.
And then swarthy guy.
Yeah.
They're running around in the woods in the daytime. I mean... Sure. This movie is like... Shitting on this movie is like picking on that kid that has to wear the helmet and licks windows. This movie's a fucking piece of shit.
Okay. No, you're right. I can't disagree with you.
God.
He's offended.
It's bad.
Yeah, okay.
It's real bad.
I
And
know.
the music. And dude, the bar dance scene, I swear at one point, part of that was just a loop.
Oh, no, I know it.
Yeah, don't watch this movie. It's bad. It's real bad.
It is.
I'll talk to y'all later.
No, you're right. You're exactly right. You know what that sounded like? You remember when you used to get in trouble in school and you'd come home and you knew you had an ass kick?
Yeah.
And your dad would just look at you and go, "Son, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed." And that was actually worse in a way. I'd rather take the ass kicking and get on with my day. Mm-hmm. Now he's going to give me the cold shoulder. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's what that phone call from Alan was like.
Yeah.
Darian, I'm very disappointed in you. Mount Misery Road was poo.
That's right.
Well, it's bad. Well, so Jason Harrell watched it, and he was texting me while he was watching it. I was at work. I've got a theory about how that whole fucking thing came to be.
Okay.
We'll get into that in immersion therapy.
All right.
But first, we got to get down to Southern California. Here comes Mr. Tom of the Hardys.
Hey, Tom Hardy.
Hey, yo.
Patrick Room, how's my favorite degenerate
What's up,
this
big
week?
baby?
Oh, I do hope everyone is doing well and having a good new year.
So far, so good.
Hope I got in on time this time.
You
but,
did.
I seem to always be fucking running late. Anyway, let me just get to it.
Yeah.
Educating department.
Come on.
I have no idea.
Okay.
On the Terror Dome, you got Jesse Lee versus Ballot.
What do you think?
You know
Tough
what?
one, right? Vampire
I
on
like
vampire?
Jesse Lee better.
Okay.
But I think you're right about Ballot being a more powerful vampire.
I think so.
So, we're just going to go ahead and give it to Valak on that one. As far as the meat hooks, we got bad vampire films.
There's a lot of them, dude.
I got a couple of these fuckers for you.
Okay.
How about Queen of the Damned?
Yeah. Repeat offender.
To Interview with the Vampire.
Wow.
Obviously, you couldn't get all of the big name actors and actresses that were in the first one.
You didn't get any of them.
You just threw some fucking shit together and saw what stuck. Yeah, pretty much a big piece of shit.
I agree.
Know what I mean? For number 2, how about Dracula 2000?
I was not mad at that.
For some reason, I remember being excited for this flick coming out. I heard about it coming out, or I don't know, maybe a Fangoria or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just a big fucking pile of shit.
Wes Craven presents.
Nothing competes with the big pile of shit, number one. And that's got to be Dario Argento's Dracula.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
I don't know what else to say about this
It's
flick
crap,
other than fucking, I like Dario Argento and I hate this fucking flick.
It's bad.
I mean,
Rutger Hauer is not Dracula.
Don't think to yourself, I have to see the worst vampire movie. It's bad. Just know it's bad. You can just move the fuck on, even if you're a Dario Argento fan, and especially if you're a Dario Argento completionist. It's gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are you looking at?
What do you got, man?
I got to catch the new Exorcist flick.
That's bad.
Exorcist Believer.
Yeah, that's also poo.
Man,
it's poo.
Fucking piece of shit.
Exactly.
Man. What the fuck are you doing with this, man?
I didn't do it.
I was
Don't blame me.
And I think the David Gordon Green guy, I think he missed I think he made the common mistake that a lot of people do with The Exorcist.
What's that?
And say, oh, this is a flick about, a little girl named Reagan who's possessed. And if you watch the flick, yes, that happens in there, but it's about Father Karras, right?
I believe.
And Father Damien, and him struggling with his faith. And that's truly what the flick's really about.
Yes. GP'd, as he's wont to do.
Yep.
I don't know why Dracula 2000 is getting such a bad rap. Have you seen it, buddy?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. It's not definitely not one of the greatest ones.
It's not the best thing I've ever seen.
It's not shit.
No, there are definitely worse vampire movies out there.
Yes.
I like Gerard Butler as a mulleted, trench coat wearing Dracula in Louisiana. What's wrong with that? I don't have a problem with that. The only thing... I just did that Kermit the Frog voice thing again. The only problem I had with it is that they kind of twisted the vampire mythos in that you could kill them by hanging them.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was kind of dumb.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Because that's how they kill them at the end. They hang them. All right, that's stupid. I thought it was definitely not the best thing I've ever seen, but I wasn't mad at it.
Right.
What else? Queen of the Damned. Yeah, I'll give you that one. He called back. Here he comes. G motherfucking peed.
G motherfucking peed.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Man, I had so little to talk about. I thought I was going to get through with
bullshit.
Anyway, yeah, I think he just totally missed the fucking point of that. And what's his thing? Hey, this is a direct sequel to the original Exorcist. But this time it's badass because 2 girls are possessed.
Yeah.
But take a look at this flick. If you haven't seen it already, I'm sure everyone has. But am I mistaken, or the special effects in the original look better than these fucking special effects?
Oh, yeah.
I would agree. What 100%.
What the fuck were they thinking? What the fuck were they doing? And then it gives like an M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end. What? But it's like, when M. Night Shyamalan does his twist, I mean, so far, they're like, half of them are pretty decent, and the other half are like, whatever, that's kind of silly or stupid or whatever. But this one here is like, it tried to do this, oh my god, twist, like we were supposed to. It was like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just such a fucking forgettable flick, such a piece of shit that I can't believe it's got the title of The Exorcist attached to it. Anyway, hope all is well. Love you, like family. Bye now.
Love you too, Tom Hardy. Thanks for calling in, dude. Have you've seen Exorcist Believer, right? Yeah. Okay, a number of issues I have. I'm not going to beat you over the head with this.
Right.
Number one, multiculturalism. The crux of the original, Exorcist was Catholicism. Why do we have a rabbi and that weird African guy and whatever? I think there was a Muslim dude. What? It's a Catholic thing, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
it's like the joke, a Muslim, a Catholic, and everything goes into a bar.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably my biggest beef. My second biggest beef is that it was clearly never meant to be an exorcist movie.
Right.
It's an exorcism
they should just call it Exorcism Believer.
Yeah, the fucking, Devil and the Girls or whatever.
Yeah.
But then they had to shoehorn Ellen Burstyn and Linda Blair in there at the last 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And now they can make an extra couple million by slapping The Exorcist on.
Right.
Pooh, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I say pooh to you.
Pooh to you.
And pooh to exorcists. That is all we have on the listener mail, my friend. Do you have anything for Tim, Coop Newcomb, Alan, or Tom Hardy?
Thanks, everybody, for calling and writing in.
You guys rock.
Yes.
You already knew that. Speaking of rock, you ready to get into a movie?
Sure am.
Nikki's pushing me to drop your pieces.
I'm going broke. I can't live off of nothing.
And I can't live off 10% of nothing.
I haven't finished a painting in 3 months.
Try this. Closest thing they got to a pure, uncut mix of cocaine, DMT.
I started painting again. I don't know, something came over me and then it all just started pouring out of me. I don't even remember doing it.
Like you blacked out?
It was like I was possessed.
I mean, that's good, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Tell me, Des, do you think it was the bliss or the blood?
Whatever you gave me, just let me know so I can kick it with something else, because I am not well. I feel like I'm dying.
You're not gonna die. Trust me.
I saw you painting in there. I saw your inspiration all over the counter, too.
You know what's wrong. You don't give it up. You can't. Forever. Forever. It's gonna be my masterpiece.
It is Bliss, buddy.
Yeah.
2019, written and directed by Joe Begos.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, oh boy, did we get Begos in this one.
Yes, we did.
I thought I was going to have a seizure or something.
Mm-hmm.
Got 5.9 stars on IMDb. This film is not rated. Stars: Dora Madison, True Collins, and Reese Wakefield.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how do you feel about Joe Begos, buddy? VFW.
It's
Mind's Eye. Christmas, Bloody Christmas.
not like films I want to keep watching.
Dude, they're
I get a headache watching these. I actually have to have a light on because if it's dark, it's like, oh gosh, yeah.
Ugh. Are you trying to unscrew my head?
Mm-hmm.
Is what it feels like. It's a good show. Story is great. If he would just take it easy,
tone it down
on the fucking color palette, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Good. Well, nobody is. All right, let me divulge.
I even tried blinking while the strobe was going just to see if I could focus better.
But he's got protective shades on.
I know.
Joe Begos movie, buddy. Hold on, I got to get some safety glasses.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's all of his movies are like that.
Yes,
man. It is hard sometimes. I love VFW, but even at times it's like, dude, you just gotta. I can't even see what you're doing. All right, so we're in LA. We start off meeting our main character. Her name is Desi Donahue, and she is a artist, and she is fully entrenched in the LA art lifestyle scene, for lack of a better term, and that includes a very strong, constant undercurrent of drug use.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much every scene in this movie, she is either getting high or drunk or both, or passed out from being high or drunk or both. A lot of that going on, so watch out for that. We start off in her artist's loft, where she is supposed to be working on a painting. Instead, there's a lot of heavy metal music, and she's hanging around with Jeremy Garner.
Yeah.
I like Jeremy Garner. We know him from a lot of recent independent horror films. He got his big break with The Battery. Have you seen The Battery?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's all right. Spring, he was in. After Midnight was a great show. I like that one a lot. Quite a few. He's an independent filmmaker. He's playing her boyfriend / fuck buddy kind of a deal. He's a loser. Pretty much everybody in this movie is a loser.
Yeah.
Except maybe the agent. He seemed all right. So she is going to take him to work. She's got to be somewhere. She's got an appointment. She gets in the car. We're in L.A., so there's a lot of like the L.A. aesthetic. Sunset all the time. Well, that kind of plays into how the story goes. Driving through downtown L.A. If anybody's ever been to L.A., you'll recognize a lot of familiar landmarks. Drops him off. He's a bartender. He's a loser. From there, she starts making phone calls, calls her agent. She's behind on a deadline. I guess she's got to have a painting ready by a certain date, and she's fallen behind. And now she's falling behind on her bills because all she's doing is partying. And she's not actually painting.
Behind on rent.
Behind on everything.
Yeah.
And she gets an ass chewing from her landlord, a big fat guy named Lance. I assume he changed his name to Lance when he moved to L.A. because that seems like it's a very L.A. name, Lance.
Yeah, sure. L.A.ance.
If that guy were in New York, his name would be Harvey. You know what I mean? Anyway, she's like, "Oh, I'll get you your money. I'll get you your money." And she calls her agent. Her agent's like, "Hey, what's up with that fucking painting?" And she's like, "I need another advance." And he's like, "Well, I need a fucking painting." And then she calls the gallery owner. I guess she's got some kind of an art show at this gallery, and it's already been pushed back a couple of times. And they're thinking about canceling it. So then she calls the gallery owner, and she's like, "Hey, I'm going to have your painting ready by the end of the week, despite what you may have heard. So it's still on. We're still doing it." And then she immediately calls her drug dealer.
Yeah.
So I guess that...
Well, you need inspiration.
Sure. So she calls her drug dealer, goes over to the drug dealer's house. George Wendt is hanging around the drug dealer's house.
Yeah.
Norm from Cheers.
I know, that was so weird. Woo, was the other guy Bull from Night Court?
I don't think so. But he did look like him.
Yeah, he did.
He might have been. Richard Mole, I think was his name. It's a weird situation. And this is where we're going to get Baghost. Because apparently when you live in a drug house, you just keep the green light on all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And that you just learn to live in a green hue of green. That would give me a fucking headache.
Oh, yeah.
I would never be able to find anything.
Nope.
You know, especially if it's green. It's gone. Goes over there, and we get a scene here reminiscent of... reminded me a lot of the Eric Stoltz scene in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's like breaking out the different drugs for John Travolta. So what this drug dealer specializes in is something called Bliss. And he explains it. He says it's a mix of cocaine, DMT, some other fucking shit. Nothing that you want to put in your body.
Right.
Is basically what it boils down to. He's got 3 different, flavors of it, I guess. One of them is called the Comanchero. The next one is called Black Dynamite. And the extra strength is called Diablo. So naturally, Desi is like, "Give me the Diablo."
Yeah.
He's like, "Okay, it's all yours." She tries a little hit off it and immediately just kind of right onto the floor and passes out. And that's where she's going to be for, I assume, a couple hours at least.
Yeah.
When she wakes up, she's just on the drug dealer's floor, dude. Don't do drugs at the drug dealer's house.
Right.
Especially if you're female, you're going to get fingered in your sleep. If you're lucky. If you're not lucky, you're going to wake up with... And that's a whole other thing. What happens is she wakes up there on the floor of the drug dealer's house. There's a full-on rager going on, buddy.
Yeah, that was weird. It's like, where the hell?
Oh, these people. First off, you just left me on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate you not putting anything inside me while I was asleep. But now there's like 50 people in here. It's a full-on rager going on.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's doing shots and snorting things and weeds flying around, all kinds of drugs. There's like a band playing in the living room. Where's the neighbors? Nobody's calling the cops. No. I guess this is just how things go.
The neighbors are at the rager.
They're probably there too. Yeah. I guess it's just how things go in L.A.
Yeah,
I would assume. So that's great. She wakes up. She's like, "Oh yeah, whoa, what happened? I slept." She's like, "I'm gonna get the fuck out of here." She passes the drug dealer, and he's like, "Yeah, man, you hit the floor, and you've been out for a while." And I should mention also that every time she does this Bliss drug, we get a very Joe Bagos psychedelic blur. Fucking montage of the room spinning and lights and sounds and fucking things.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing. She gets up. She's like, "Well, okay, I'm gonna get up out of here." And he's like, "Yeah, here's your bag of Diablo." She's walking out, and then this other chick just runs up and jumps on her. We're gonna meet her. Apparently, she's a friend of Desi. Her name's Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
And she is pretty hot.
Yeah.
Desi's pretty hot, too, but only in like
a trashy way.
Like a cunty kind of a, she could smile. If she would have smiled at least once in this movie,
right,
that would have been, she's such a bitch. She's like, "Oh my God, Courtney, hey, Desi, how are you?" Make a long story short, Des ends up basically hanging out at the party for another 3 or 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. A whole lot of smoking and a whole drug party montage. We see Des complaining about some magazine cover she did. And it's basically what it boils down to is Courtney's boyfriend, Ronnie, shows up and they have a threesome in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if somebody can find me some of this Bliss stuff, I'm willing to experiment.
Right.
I'm up to the challenge, I feel like. I need to know what if it's going to show on a drug test. Though. I need to work out the semantics. I gotta find a friend of my wife that's willing to come over. Anyway, she wakes up the next day, fucking hungover and shit. We get like whoa, where am I? I think she woke up in her apartment the next day, and she's like, "Oh shit!" And the painting she was working on, which to her credit was this huge 9x9 canvas, suddenly has so. To describe the painting, because the painting is kind of a pivotal point in the story, it starts off as just like this red background with like a white inlet and then like a fade into the white, if that makes any sense at all. Not really, I know.
I thought it looked like a vagina.
Yeah, a little bit. I thought it kind of looked like an eyeball at first. It kind of does kind of look like a vagina now that you mention it. But apparently while she was out, she put some work into it. Now there's like little figures at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of look like they're at a concert or something. I don't know. So that's pretty cool. She's very excited about that. She doesn't remember doing it. So she's like, "Oh, shit." So now, since we're somewhat coherent in the moment, we have to focus on getting some work done. Goes and sees her agent. Her agent's like, "Hey, dude, we are twice overdue on this fucking gallery showing, and I need to show the owner of the gallery that you're at least doing something."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "No, man, I really did not like Des in this. She was just such a fucking bitch to everybody. You don't fucking get it, bro, okay? I just can't turn this on and turn it off. I need another $10,000 or I'll take my painting somewhere else." And he's like, "Okay, good. Because I am not making any money off. You're not making any money, period. I'm not making a percentage off the money that you're not making. Nobody is happy here, so I'm dropping you as a client."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she's like, "Well, fuck you too, man." Gets in her convertible and takes off. Again, calls the gallery owner, and she's like, "Okay, so I just dropped my agent, but the painting's ready. It's going to be ready on Wednesday." So, okay, very cool. After that, she goes home, tries to paint again, does a little bit kind of... Whenever she goes into painting mode, Bagos loves himself some montages. And it's all...
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
It's all about, colors splashing at a canvas and her getting mad and then smoking more weed and then getting madder and then like doing a couple lines of Bliss and then like doing shots and then getting madder and then like eventually the sun goes down and I assume it's like 11, 12:30 at night. She gets all fired off and then she calls Courtney, "Where are you, bitch? I don't know." And then she's basically just kind of takes off.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. We've accomplished absolutely nothing. Goes cruising around. Apparently, this movie was made in 2019, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, in some fucking alternate dimension, they still had payphones in 2019.
I know. So weird.
I don't think you could. We've had one here in Reno since 2015 at the latest.
Yeah.
And that's a stretch, man. I haven't seen one in days. Anyway, I thought it was weird also because she has a cell phone that she's using to call her agent, the gallery owner, but then she keeps stopping at payphones to call Courtney. Strange, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, what did you give me? What happened? Let's hook up. She hooks up with Courtney again, and now Courtney and her boyfriend Ronnie are there. They look like they jumped off of a erotic novel cover about vampires, I would say. Not to give anything away, but that's pretty much how they dress and how they act. Desi hooks up with them at some bar, continues to get hammered and high and do Bliss. Courtney and Ronnie convince her to go to another bar where a concert is happening and the bar owner wants to meet her to possibly work out some kind of an arrangement for a backdrop or something, but she passes out halfway into the conversation with the owner. She just hits the deck. She makes her way down to the bathroom and immediately starts vomiting blood into the toilet in like a very greasy, meaty blood kind of a thing. Not like oh, there's red stuff coming out, but like a whole slimy kind of a...
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you drank too much, right? And then you threw up everything in your stomach.
And you're dry heaving.
Now that yellow shit is coming out.
Yeah.
It was a lot like that, except it was blood.
Right.
Girl. I've been there. I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
I've thrown up in the bathroom of many a shitty bar. It sucks because you know your face is about 2 inches away from where somebody's balls were 5 minutes ago.
That's where his ass was.
That's you know... That's what happens. Vomits, kind of like spazzes out for a second, like just kind of takes a second to regain herself there on the disgusting bathroom floor. In comes some random chick, and she's like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Whatever, I'm going to check my makeup." Courtney comes in behind the random chick and basically bites the random chick's neck open, and then kind of goes into lesbian makeout mode with Desi on the floor, where she's like spitting blood in her mouth and it's all running down her boobs and stuff.
Yeah.
I think what really happened here is that Begos wanted to get in the pants of Dora Madison, the actress that played Desi. I fucking hope he succeeded.
Right.
Because with all this naked blood spew and girl-on-girl stuff, somebody better have been getting at least a digit dropped on him.
Right.
Or some, round second base or something, buddy. Anyway, that kind of snaps Desi out of it, and she's like, "Oh, what? Yeah, I'm good. I'm okay now." She kind of staggers out of the bar, blood dripping down her chin. Again, montage, psychedelic, wakes up in her apartment, and again, there's more work done on the painting. So she's like, "Oh, okay, what? Yeah." The painting now basically depicts a pile of people in like it kind of reminded me of that scene in World War Z where all the zombies,
I was going to say that. Yeah,
all the zombies are stepping on each other trying to get over the wall. Yeah, kind of like that, but it only goes up to about knee high.
Right.
So that's kind of cool. But now she's all freaked out because, of course, she doesn't remember doing this. She's like, "Oh, what the hell?" Spazzes out, makes a bunch of phone calls. Nobody calls her back because she's a bit of a bitch, buddy, to everybody.
Yeah.
Calls Jeremy Garner. He comes over, and I think they have sex, but in a very weird, standing up, just kind of stand behind you and grunt kind of a way.
Yeah.
Hey, I like it when my wife is on top. That's my jam. Some people just want to pretend you're in a crowded bus and dry hump you to death, I guess. Whatever works for you, dude. I don't think they even took their clothes off, but that's fine.
She probably said, you don't pay me enough for this.
Yeah, hey, what are you doing? You get in front of me.
Keep those pants on.
Hey, what? Get out of there. So that's fine. Afterwards, she kind of like starts yelling at him, what are you fucking doing? You're a loser. And he's like, I'm a loser. You're a fucking degenerate. And he's like, you could tell that Jeremy Garner's character, I think his name was Clive, actually cared about Desi. Because he's like looking at all these drugs and empty booze bottles, and he's like, bro,
get your act
you're going to fucking kill yourself. You got to slow it down. And your painting looks great, by the way, but still, you got to do something. She gets all pissed off and tells him to go fuck himself. And he's like, all right, go fuck myself. Goodbye. Never talking to you again. Okay, see ya. He leaves, and then again, she does a bunch of coke and Bliss and booze, and like she's trying to paint, but she can't, so she just starts walking around in circles, and she's trying to get a hold of Courtney to find out what the hell she gave her so that she can either get some more or do an offset drug to kind of, I guess, slow her down somehow.
Yeah.
I don't do drugs, buddy, other than Monster Energy, really. That's about that's about as hard as I go. But if you got to find a drug that'll bring you down from the first drug that you did, that's a bad sign right there. Anyway, can't get a hold of Courtney, all pissed off. Eventually hops in her car and leaves. Goes driving around. She's wanting to. I guess she's all hopped up, is what we're getting at. So she calls her drug dealer, the big fat guy that hangs out with Norm, and she's like, hey, what you got anything? Are you holding? What's going on? So she drives over there to the green light house, and there's George, Norm, for lack of a better term. He just kind of, I don't know if he lives there or he just goes there and plays cards every single day.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that one out.
With that other guy that he hates. A very strange situation. These two don't like each other, Norm and the other guy.
No.
An argument breaks out there while Desi is trying to buy drugs. The other guy pulls a gun on Norm.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck? But then he accidentally elbow smashes the drug dealer, and he's like, oh God, I'm so sorry. But then the blood starts coming out of the drug dealer's nose. And Desi is now she's got the cold sweats. She's like, oh, so she jumps over the counter and basically attacks her drug dealer, rips his throat out, drinks a bunch of his blood. Norm is like, I don't know. I got to get back to that bar in Boston. So
yeah.
She's like, she bites his arm off and starts drinking his blood. The other old guy, I think she killed also, but I don't remember how. Make a long story short, she walks out of there with the gun. So good for her. Goes back to her apartment and starts fucking around there. Lance shows up and he's like, hey, bitch, where's my fucking money? And I could be wrong about this part, but I think she sucks his eyeball out. She attacks him, jumps on him, bites him in his face or something.
Yeah.
Gets a bunch of blood off of him. Good for her. So now we are clearly crossing into vampire country.
Oh, yeah.
Here, right? No fangs.
No fangs.
Not really any cool vampire powers that I noticed. So that's good.
I think she leaped pretty far, though.
She did. She cleared maybe you get some quads.
Yeah, that's right.
Yoked ass legs, all of a sudden you're jumping.
Go gadget legs.
Bow! So yeah, that's where we're headed. But about this time, she blacks out again. Big, crazy, bloody montage with the colors and the spinning tiles and the painting. When she wakes up again, the painting has gotten more completed. It's got the whole... It's going over the wall is where the people are going. The pile is getting higher and higher. Very cool. She wakes up that night because now she's only coming out at nights, and she's like in panic mode because she doesn't really remember what happened, but she has an inkling. So she immediately starts trying to call the drug dealer. Nobody's answering, obviously. She goes downstairs and tries to get a hold of Lance, the landlord. Nobody answers his door. She's having a full-on freak out because she's starting to realize that she killed everybody and drank their blood.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, fucking shit. So she calls Jeremy Gardner, knowing that he's the only one that actually gives a shit. So he comes over. Again, he's like, hey, dude. Look, what? All this drugs, alcohol. You're freaking right. You're having some kind of a mental break. Your painting looks great, by the way. And she's like, you know what? I don't fucking care. And he's like sweating and ripping clothes off. And eventually, I think she Pez dispensers him, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But from here, again, with the booze and the drugs and the painting and all that, I don't know if she's hallucinating or what the fuck happened, but Jeremy comes back, I assume, as a vampire. Maybe?
That's my guess.
Okay.
But I'm like, well, they didn't really lead on to that.
Well, so at first, part of this music montage, he's like crawling at her across the floor. She picks up the gun and shoots him and then jumps into the bathroom, and he's like still banging on the door, like, you killed me once. How many times are you going to kill me? You're killing everybody. Bang, bang, bang. But the music is ramping up in this montage of psychedelic Bagos business flying around. And then eventually she pops out, and he's there, and now he's just standing there. His throat has been slit, but his head is still attached.
Yeah.
So when she killed him the first time, his head like cocked back like a Pez dispenser.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's just there, and he's got like a gnarly cut on his neck, so I'm thinking like vampire healing abilities.
Maybe.
I don't know. And he's like, now we can create together because we're going to be together forever.
I'll give you many babies.
Vampire babies. I think you lay eggs now, but I will fertilize your eggs, and they will hatch, and they'll be... while he's having this conversation, she's like, no, get away. Out of nowhere, Courtney pops up behind him and stabs him in the chest, like through the back, with a big stick. So it's like a stake through the heart. Mm-hmm. Jeremy Gardner collapses to the floor and immediately dissolves into a puddle.
Yep.
Excellent. And Courtney's like, dude, you got to quit killing people. Yeah, you're a vampire now, but there's rules you gotta abide by. Mm-hmm. And make a long story short, we get a nasty cat fight between Desi and Courtney. A lot of rolling around and kicking each other in the face. In the end, Desi gets the better of Courtney and bites her face off, and then stabs her with the stick, which causes Courtney to dissolve into a puddle. And then we get a whole Bagos montage of painting and naked fucking shit and spinning around and erotic dancing and more painting and flashing and strobing. And at the end, the painting is done. It's basically Des wearing all these people like a miniskirt, being topless, assumingly in hell, judging by the backdrop.
Yeah.
And then the sun comes up and Des explodes.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much that's the end of your movie right there.
Yeah. At one point, the lady that had the artwork, she shows up at the building.
But, so does the agent.
Oh yeah.
And they're both very impressed with the way the painting's going.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you're back on. Okay, great. So you're ready to go? And she's like, yeah, man, and you're fucking fired too, because you already dropped me, so you're not getting shit, okay, bitch, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not like Desi at all.
No.
I liked the movie. I like the undercurrent of the LA drug scene. I like the color palette.
That's hard. That's a hard watch.
It's hard on the eyes, dude,
yeah.
And it's that's just Bagos. That's how he does it. He loves himself some bananas lighting to really fuck you up, buddy.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he does it just to get at you. He knows you're going to watch the movie. He knows I'm going to make you watch the movie, so he's got us both. I'm going to give those two assholes a headache. That's what he's thinking to himself. I say check it out. It's a good show. You just got to get around that color palette. Mm-hmm. And Desi's kind of a bitch, but I don't think you're supposed to like her, which I didn't. She's pretty hot, though.
Yeah.
Dora Madison, she's pretty hot. I like the curly hair situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dudes, check it out. I saw it on Tubi. Buddy, where'd you stream it? Tubi?
Tubi.
Check it out on Tubi. We're going to take a little break. I'm going to burp. Excuse me.
Hey inmates, if you like what you hear, head over to the Padded Room Facebook group and support us through the Patreon link with a small monthly donation. Check out the T-Villain link at paddedroom.podbean.com and grab some t-shirts. Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of the show.
And we are back, buddy. There he is. There he is. He's back. It's about that time of the show. We like to do a little something called 3 on a Meat Hook, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
3 on a meat hook.
This week's meat hook, top 3 horror film spoofs, buddy.
Yes.
Now this is, I feel like my list is going to be a bit controversial.
Yeah, you think so?
That's right, controversial, because that's a word. Controversial. What do you got on number 3?
Number 3, What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay. I don't know if I'd call that a spoof, but it's definitely... Well, I guess it is, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like spoofing the vampire archetypes in a way. Yeah, I get it. I didn't really think of that. But yeah, that probably should have been on my list for sure. Great. It's probably my favorite horror comedy, I would say. Other than possibly Shaun of the Dead. No, I would say What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, I would say What We Do in the Shadows is probably one of your top, number 1 probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I didn't really think of it as a spoof until now, you son of a bitch.
You're welcome.
God damn it, buddy. My number 3, Saturday the 14th.
Oh.
Have you seen it?
No.
It's dumb as shit.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It has nothing to do with Jason Voorhees at all.
No.
It's basically a vampire couple and a werewolf and a creature from the Black Lagoon move into a suburban home, and their next door neighbors are they're getting wise, or they're trying to get back into their old house. I watched it a couple months ago, and it's dumb as fuck. It's a terrible movie. But I remembered watching the shit out of it as a kid because it was like the one horror movie that I could watch without pissing my pants.
Okay.
So, Saturday the 14th for me, dude.
All right.
How about number 2?
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Again, I don't really think of that as a spoof, per se.
Mocks the whole zombie genre.
Yeah. And I like that there's just a couple of losers.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Another great horror comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to go What We Do in the Shadows over Shaun of the Dead. If I'm going to rate your meat hook,
okay.
If I'm going to basically rip off your meat hook and rearrange it to my own, that's where I would put it. Okay. My number 2 is a little film, I don't know if you've heard of it, called Repossessed. It's basically a Leslie Nielsen spoof of The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Best part of the whole movie is when they're doing the exorcism. Linda Blair plays Reagan, and she's on the bed, and she's going, lick me, lick me, lick me. And Leslie Nielsen turns around, and she's turned into a giant ice cream cone.
Yeah, that's right.
It's dumb. It is stupid. It's pretty funny, though. That's my number 2. How about number 1?
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Everything that's like in a horror movie, but it's all accidental.
It's all stupid. Yeah, the quote-unquote slashers are actually just a couple of dudes trying to go about their fishing trip, and these idiot kids keep finding ways to kill themselves, and they're getting blamed for it.
Yep.
I love it. That's probably my if I was to rearrange your meat hook, I would probably go What We Do in the Shadows, Tucker and Dale, and then Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Not that it matters what my opinion is. Because my number 1 is going to be kind of out there, and I think I'm going to catch some shit for this, but that's fine. Evil Dead 2.
Oh, I thought about that one.
I feel like it's a spoof of Evil Dead 1.
Right.
It's like I read somewhere that basically it could be kind of interpreted as Evil Dead 1 is what happened.
Right.
Evil Dead 2 is Ash giving you his version of what happened. That's why he's got all the cool one-liners and the shotgun, and he's blowing the heads off of everybody.
Yeah.
So, in that way, it's kind of like a spoof of its own prequel, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That's our meat hook, inmates. Top 3 horror spoofs. Padded Room Podcast, just click the 3 on a meat hook link. You can put it in there. Or you can call us, area code 775-387-0275, or mail at paddedroompodcast.com. Let us know what you think, your top 3 horror spoofs. But now it's time for the Terradome.
No tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. I'm gonna bash them right the fuck in. I'll kill you all. I'll drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. My worst dream come true.
6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
Welcome to the Terradome.
Yeah.
First, last week's winner. Valak knew the interloper to be a rare and powerful vampire, much like him. But Jesse Lee was orphaned. His creator hadn't given the gift of knowledge or control over the dark gift. Combat was joined and over quickly. If Jesse had been a little less hostile, he could have learned a lot from Valak. With a vote of 6-2, Valak advances over Jesse Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. That makes sense. They're both vampires. They're both dirty Southwest vampires hanging out in the desert, which is also pretty cool.
That'd be a good battle, though.
Jesse's just a guy, though. You know? I mean, he's a vampire, and he bursts into flames in the sunlight. He didn't fly. He didn't use any cool powers. I mean, he got shot quite a bit. He survived that.
Right.
But other than that, he didn't even have fangs.
No.
That's kind of a thing, man. You got to have the fangs.
I think so.
Otherwise, you're just a guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
A guy?
Just a guy. Let's take a look at this week's matchup, shall we?
Yes.
We are in the Inferno Conference Round 14. As usual, inmates, bear with me. I'm not much of a writer and usually can't read my own handwriting. Slowly, she was returning to herself, like waking up from a very lucid dream and finding yourself sleepwalking in a different body. She felt hazy and lost. Her body was running on instinct. Her mouth was saying words she'd never say, talking to men she'd never acknowledge, and doing things with them that she would never do. It wasn't really her body, that's why. It was made up from dismembered sex workers and piecemealed together. She had died a week ago in a lawnmower accident, but here she was walking the streets. Finally, a familiar landmark, something from her youth, a place that reminded her of the life she once lived. The sign at the gate read, Hellfest. The screams coming from inside could have been from the haunted attractions or from the actual dead bodies being discovered throughout the night. Singles competition, we have the other versus Frankenhooker, buddy. Yeah, somebody wanted Frankenhooker in the tournament, so that's what I did.
I'm going to go with the other.
Okay, I'm going to have to go with Frankenhooker on this one, because while she's silly as shit, she's still a reanimated corpse.
True.
And the other appears to just be a guy. Again, just a guy.
A guy?
A guy. That's your Terradome matchup for the weekend, mates. Closing out the Inferno Conference, it's Frankenhooker versus the other. Get us your votes by next week if you can. And while you're contemplating that match, we're going to tell you what movies we got to watch in a little segment called What Are You Looking At?
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking at?
Only got one movie in this week. It's The Breach from 2018. Seen this one?
Yes, I did. It's actually
you did?
on my list.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
What did you think?
It was good.
It's fine. Lovecrafty, kind of a gateway to another dimension, and it's got the guy from Quicksand in it.
Yeah.
Effects were pretty good. Actually, now that I think about it, I really like the effects. When they come out of the gateway and they're all fucked off, They've got like side mouths and other people growing out of their back.
Right.
That part was pretty dope.
Yeah.
For being a fairly low budget movie, I guess. Other than that, I thought it was a good show. I think I found it on Tubi.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's where I found it.
That was a pretty good show. Heavy on the Lovecraft element.
Yes.
You can see From Beyond. You can see a lot of From Beyond in this one. Yeah, worth checking out, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so.
That's all I got to see, man. What did you get?
All right, well, I got quite a list because it's been a while, so I'm just going to skim through them real fast.
Run us through.
Trailer Park of Terror.
What'd you think of that? I'm already jumping in. What'd you think of that?
I didn't really care for it.
Really? Yeah. I thought it was it's silly.
Yeah.
Fucking trailer park with zombies and all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah, because last time you guys were talking about, I'm like, okay, I got to check this out. So
I mean, if you know, it's called Trailer Park of Terror.
Yeah.
You know, you're not in for a cinematic masterpiece here. All right.
Right.
I won't interrupt you again, I promise.
Okay, Savannah Haunting, The Breach, Veronica, Crimson Peak, Uma, Girl Gone Bad, Totally Killer, It Follows, Polaroid, Anguish, Tales from the Other Side, The Privilege, Deliver Us from Evil, Ragnarok, Hell on the Shelf, The Girl Who Killed Her Parents, The Boy Who Killed Her Parents is like part 2, or ish, whatever. And then The Girl Who Killed Her Parents, which is like, it's all like the same story. So it's like a documentary movie.
Oh.
It's girl's view, boy's view, and then the total. Okay. Yeah, and then Paranormal Activity 5, Next of Kin, and some other movie I can't remember what I watched.
Okay. Right on. What did you think of Paranormal Activity Next of Kin?
I actually liked it. When I watched it, I think I liked it because I didn't know it was a Paranormal Activity movie.
That is kind of that was the deal breaker for me.
Yeah, so when I watched it, I was just like, oh, wow, this chick's going to go see her Amish, family or whatever, and some weird shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I was like, sick. Yeah, I got to watch this out. I was like, well, that's a good movie. And then as a credit started rolling, I saw Paranormal Activity. I'm like, wait, what? And then I looked at that. I'm like, well, that was dumb. It's not really even anything about it.
So, two things. Number one, that was a cash grab, clearly. Mm-hmm. Somebody got the rights to Paranormal Activity and just slapped that on there at the last second. There's not even any real Paranormal Activity in the movie.
No.
It's a different... I don't want to ruin it for anybody,
right.
But it goes in a different direction.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, there's no tie-in at all.
Yeah, no name calling, nothing.
No, nothing. No midwives, no Katie and Christina.
Yeah.
Nothing. So, I don't know, that part kind of pissed me off. If it had been called something else and I hadn't watched it with some kind of an expectation, I might have liked it a lot more.
Yeah, the only thing similar to Paranormal Activity is you wait till the end till shit happens.
Yeah, of course. And it's all found footage, too, so there's that.
Yeah. But the found footage actually was pretty good in it, I thought.
Yeah, I thought so, too.
Yeah.
Right on. Time for some immersion therapy, amigo.
Yeah.
What do you want? You want to fight me? Is that what you want?
Taking the reins.
Mount Misery Road?
Immersion therapy.
How far did you get?
Did you
watch the whole thing?
I watched the whole thing.
That a boy.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I did hit the fast forward a little bit, the 10 seconds, like, boop, boop, boop. Okay, it's slowing down. Boop, boop.
Do you think it's so bad it's good?
Okay, so this is actually, I don't know if I would say it's so bad it's good. I mean, in a way, it reminds me of our film.
Sure.
The whole bar scene, I was like, that kind of reminds me of Floyd's.
Yeah.
So I was like, huh. So I was kind of having a flashback of that. So that was kind of cool, but then the dancing went on too long. I started fast forwarding through it. Yeah, so I don't know if it's so bad it's good. Well, maybe it is. I mean, I don't know. Parts of it's so bad it's good. Some of it's so bad it's just bad.
I could see like having you and Jason and some of our other friends over
making
for
this
some drinks, putting it on, and just being
having
like,
a blast with it.
Yeah, just being like, look at this stupid shit.
Yes.
And then we'd probably watch our movie right after.
Yes.
Because that is also some stupid shit. I have a theory about, because that couple made another movie. I'm not going to watch it. I have no intention of doing it. But it looked like some kind of a slasher situation.
Okay.
What I think happened, and I formulated, Jason and I, while he was watching it, were texting. I think she is a mail order bride. Or something to that extent, because she's clearly got a weird, like, Eastern European accent going on, right? And he brought her over here to make, quote unquote, make her a star.
Yeah.
And now her brothers are here, and they're threatening to kill him if he doesn't make good on his promise. So he's cobbling these movies together.
Oh, yeah.
trying to save his own ass and keep nailing the hot Polish blonde.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
Right.
That's what I think is going on.
I believe that a little bit, yeah.
It's terrible, man. It is terrible. The reason... Okay, so I fell asleep one night, and I woke up as the movie was starting. And I was like, oh, there's a hot blonde. And like right after that was that weird scene where they're like laying in bed together. So I was like... oh, let me see if she's going to take her shirt off.
Right.
So I hung out for the whole fucking movie thinking she was going to... and it just got worse and worse and worse. And like at the end when they're running through the woods, just...
oh my gosh.
Where do you go? Oh, where are you?
That was terrible. That was so terrible. Yeah.
Yep. That's bad. But thank you, guys. Alan, Tim, Buddy, Jason, I know you're out there. For watching this, and it sounds like Tim still had fun with it.
Yeah.
If Jason was here, he'd probably slap me.
Yeah.
I deserve it. But I needed to know if this crosses the line of so bad it's good.
Gosh, that's close. It's on the border.
I kind of think that it does at some point. Like what I would need to do.
Yeah, at some points, not the end.
I think what we would need to do is like sit down with you and Jason and maybe some other dude and watch it, and just see like if it's laughably bad, because that's when it becomes good, right?
Right.
It's not like, did you ever watch Birdemic? Shock and Awe or Shock and Terror?
I
whatever
think
it was.
did.
That is so bad it's good. There's 4 of those fucking movies now in a box set with flapping wings that Jason owns. It's dumb. It's dumb as shit. Don't watch it.
Okay, maybe I haven't seen it.
Don't do it, buddy. I guess that's what we need to do to get a solid assessment of how bad this movie is.
Yeah.
What do you got for us this week, big guy?
Well, part 2. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to put myself on probation from immersion therapy.
All right, let's see. This week, let's check out 2022's Significant Other. You'll find this gem on Paramount Plus.
Check that shit out, inmates. We will do the same and compare notes next week. But now it is time to educate me.
Educating Miss Monica.
First, my clues from last week. It is Halloween night. I am feeling social, and I'm going to head down to the bar. I probably should have put a costume on, but I've put some shit together. Ran into a young lady and a big, fat, annoying guy, and we have decided to go check out a local haunted attraction that we mysteriously found a flyer for. God damn if there isn't a bunch of body mod freaks in here looking to kill and torture us all of a sudden. I am, of course, Haunt from 2019. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I liked it.
That's a great show.
Yeah.
I put that on my Halloween watch list, but I never got around to it. Fucking shit. Good thing I got a physical copy, buddy.
That's right.
So I can watch it whenever I want.
Physical.
Let's get physical media. Who might I be this week, you ask? Well, I am a alpaca farmer, rancher. I own alpacas, and a lot of them. And I've got a daughter that's wanting to practice witchcraft in a very weird, hippy-dippy kind of way, and a kid that smokes a lot of weed while he's taking care of the alpacas. Everything was going pretty smooth until a fucking meteor crashed into my well, and now everything is purple and pink. And the goddamn alpacas are like merging together to form some kind of a rat king alpaca. And, God, I hope nothing bad happens to my wife and kid, because they are not going... That could be a bad situation. And I probably have to kill them both, because it's going to get ugly. Who might I be, my friend? Tune in next week, and I will drop some knowledge on you. In the meantime, I think that's about going to do it for us, buddy, unless you got anything else on the week.
No, that's it.
It's good to have you back, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
Missed you.
Missed you guys.
Like, comment, subscribe wherever you found this show. That helps our visibility quite a bit. Have a Patreon campaign running. Just head on over to paddedroompodcast.com, and you'll find the link there. In the meantime, join us next week for Martin here in Vampire Month. Martin. Check that shit out, man. It's supposed to be a vampire movie. It's questionable, though. Join us next week for Martin here in Vampire Month. In the meantime, for Jason and Absentia, possible vampires, the fucking spinneroonie that Bagos put on us yet again, fun drugs to do while you're in Los Angeles, and things you shouldn't do while you're on those drugs in Los Angeles, and the Padded Room Podcast. I'm afraid visiting hours are over.
Bye, and have a great week.
I want to know